Motherhood didn't get harder because moms changed. It got harder because the world around us changed. Are there any moms out there that are feeling this? Are you feeling that it is harder to be a mom now? And I'm not saying this out of laziness, okay? Out of being like, oh, life is hard. I'm saying the world around us is harder to mother in. The first reason would simply be too many choices. So I don't feel like we can just do things. I feel like we always have to choose. Like, you have a baby and it's like, I feel like back in the day, you just breastfed them. There was no choice. Now it's like, am I going to pump? Am I going to breastfeed? Am I going to use formula? What kind of formula? There's what kind of parent are you going to be? Are you going to be attached? Are you going to be authoritarian? I don't even know what types there are. But everything seems like it's this like analytical choice versus just like doing it. Do you feel me on that? And does that make sense? I think between the products, the systems, the schedules, there's a lot of choices that we have to make versus just doing kind of what comes natural. We're constantly having to decide things, and I think that is really leading to the fatigue, the decision fatigue that moms are experiencing. Some of this fatigue also comes from all the inputs. So the information overload, the internet comparisons, the social media. We're not just independently raising our children. We're watching other people raise theirs. And if you post about yours, you're getting critiqued, you're getting analyzed, and you're getting picked apart. My advice there would be don't post at all, okay? I talk here about mothering advice, but if you notice, I do try to keep my kids a little bit private and some of the details of how I parent them quiet because that's personal and it's okay that we all do things differently. Another reason that mothering, I believe in this day and age is harder is because of all the expectations. You need to be joyful, you need to be cheerful, you need to be on time and punctual, and you need to be the room mom and the president of the PTA. You need to be firm and teach them manners, but you need to be fun and gentle at the same time. You need to be calm. You need to be flexible. You also need to be rigid and structured. You need to be productive. You need to be fit and healthy. You also need to relax and calm down. You need to make everything from scratch. You need to work and make a 100K salary, but yet you need to be home and take care of your kids. You need to have 5 different side hustles while also making goodie bags for every single party. You can't do it all, but for some reason we feel the expectation to do it all. You cannot be everything to everyone all the time. And I would say in our world versus say 50 years ago, 75 years ago, whatever you want to call it, there's just more to manage. Okay, just even like, okay, my ring, got engaged, got married. I have to take this ring to get it cleaned every 6 months to keep like the warranty on it. Okay, sometimes I wish I would have, had my husband get one from a pawn shop and if it breaks, it breaks. Versus every 6 months, that's an appointment, I gotta go do that. Just all the upkeep. My eyes. When I was 22, my parents paid for LASIK. I wore glasses, then I wore contacts, and they got me LASIK. Every year, I still have to go to the eye doctor to keep the warranty on my eyes. It's an appointment that in theory, I shouldn't have to do. Now, if I had contacts, I would still have to do it. But it's just all these things we have to maintain and keep up. As a parent, that looks like sports and activities. Okay, I don't do sports, but I have nieces and nephews. What is up with snacks? They go to a game for an hour, a practice for an hour. They need a snack. I am not a snack mama, so I fully disagree with that. The whole snack mom thing, ridiculous in my opinion. It's one more thing to keep track of, let alone the jersey, the cleats, the mitt, ball, whatever supplies they need for whatever sport it's in, all the logistics. It is so much to manage. It is so much to take care of. Not to mention, we're doing this in a much more expensive world where everybody's got to have the newest baseball bat and the best mitt. And honestly, it's expensive. It's hard to keep up. And there's a pressure to keep up. And moms, when it comes to the kids, I feel that very heavily. Life itself, I think, is heavier for us. I think there's the internet to compare. I think there's all the items to purchase and all the things to be involved in. Now, on a much more serious note, I feel like with the news, with social media, there's an awareness. There's a awareness of safety and what we want to allow our kids to do. So there's internet safety. There's sleepover type safety. And there's the decisions that come with all of these different elements. There's concerns about developmental milestones, oh, my 18-month-old isn't walking yet. And you start to feel terrible about it. The internet is this resource, but sometimes we get too much. We get too much information and we don't know what to do with it. And we get overwhelmed. We have to decide if we're making the right choices, if we're crippling our children, if we are letting them be free. My kids haven't done a sleepover, and I don't know if they ever will. I really don't know that we're ever going to do it. And I hate that for them because I did do sleepovers and nothing ever happened to me. I was okay. But then what if you weren't okay? And what if one of my kids were not okay? Would I ever forgive myself for allowing them to go to that sleepover? I don't know. So it's so tough because am I taking away an amazing part of childhood? Or am I saying, no, it's not worth it, protect them? There's other ways to make childhood amazing. Everybody has to make those decisions for themselves. I'm saying as a mom, we have the weight and it's heavy. It's really heavy to make all these decisions. I think we are carrying more mentally than moms of the past. I think moms of the past did a ton. They were busy and they worked hard. I think there's more now. I think there's more stuff. There's more people. There's more ways to connect, positive and negative. So if motherhood feels harder for you, I don't think it's you. I think it is the world around us. Now, do I think we need to buck up and be tough and stuff? Yes. But some of these things aren't about being tough. They're about decision fatigue. They're about overwhelm. They're about information overload. And I think the best thing you can do as a mom is not doing more, but trying to do less and to try to remove some of the weight. Okay, maybe it's staying off social media. Maybe it's not posting your kids. Don't let everybody know their milestones. They don't need to know that. It's okay. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. Isn't that what they say? Maybe we need to mind our own business and not worry about the world around us and try to block out as much as we can. When it comes to things like safety, set standards in your home that you feel are right for you. And maybe your kid's friend gets a phone when they're 10. Maybe yours don't till they're 13. You have to stay firm in your boundaries and in your limitations for your family. All right, your convictions. I think it's not about doing more or trying harder. I think it's about making intentional decisions about what we let into our lives and into our homes. Because when everything is loud and overwhelming and crazy in the world, it's how do you find your peace? How do you find your peace at home? All right, check out other videos on my channel, and I hope you have a wonderful day. You are doing great, Mama.